And Santi Gimnez now with 53 goals in 89 matches, which makes him a hot commodity, as Fabrizio Romano has confirmed, saying that Nottingham Forest have presented an initial proposal for the Mexican of about £21 million, but Feyernoord have said, that's not enough. So it looks like negotiations will continue. So right now, it's the perfect moment to welcome in one of our transfer gurus, shall we? And it's none other than Julien Laurent. Jules, thank you so much for joining us on this one. Let's talk Santi Gimnez, of course, because he seems like quite the hot commodity. Nottingham Forest and Nuno Espirito Santo looking to bolster their squad, so they probably don't have to fight for relegation in another season. But it looks like this one could be dependent on maybe Arsenal's Eddie Nketiah as well. So considering they both kind of fill the same role, what's the deal there and which one's likely to happen?
Hi guys, I believe that there currently are talks ongoing with the two clubs. So on one side, Forest and Feyenoord for Santi Gimnez, and on the other side, Forest and Arsenal for Eddie Nketiah, which I'm sure the viewers and Herc will agree with me, and you, Alexis, as well, in the sense that they're two completely different number nines. So if you're looking for a number nine, usually as a club, you look for a certain profile, right? And that you've got plan A, plan B, and plan C in that profile. For them to go for two players with completely different skill sets is a bit strange. But whatever, they can do whatever they want. And also, they already obviously have Chris Wood and Awoni and Jota Silva. And so they're not short of number nines already. But it seems like clearly they're going for Giménez or Nketiah, negotiating with both clubs, and I guess, and that's just my guess, but for sure it's confirmed that they're negotiating with the two clubs. My guess would be that maybe the first one to be agreed, both personal terms and a transfer fee, will be the one that Forest will sign. But again, I'm really amazed by the fact that they took completely different players. So if you sign one or the other, it makes a big difference to your team and to your coach.
So I'm not surprised by Feyenoord and Dennis de Kloese, the CFO of Feyenoord, in wanting to get the most money possible. I understand them going to Forest or willing to negotiate with Forest. Look at the Premier League, because those are where the dollars are. I am surprised that Santi Gimnez's camp is entertaining this as a good fit. We saw what happened with Matt Turner. We saw what happened with Giovanni Reina. Different positions, but we saw what Nottingham Forest was. Is that the situation you want Santi Gimnez going to? When I think of Santi Gimnez in his strong suit, he's such a great runner off the ball. His movement really is what makes him. He's very fast and deceptive for his size, nose for goal, but he needs the game in front of him. So to be in a league that is so physical, when you're making a jump from Eredivisie defending to Premier League defending, it really, really makes me wonder what's going on in his camp. I'm wondering, Jules, what's going on? Because when I was thinking of Santi Gimnez, when we were talking Santi Gimnez a year ago, we were talking about the possibility of him breaking Christian Pulisic's CONCACAF record, which was $70 million plus dollars. $70 million plus for his record from Borussia Dortmund to Chelsea. And now we're talking 25 million euros here. Why has his stock taken such a hit in Europe? Well, what's the 411 with this player? What's the information you have on this player's stock?
I think it's a great question, Herc. I think maybe last season was not as good as the one before, that's for sure. And maybe for some clubs, it made them think again. It's not even so much the price, Herc, really, in a way, because to go back to your initial point, it's also the type of club that Forest is. And I've got nothing against Nottingham Forest. Great club in England, great history, great heritage, everything you want. But right now, like Alexis said, you're fighting against relegation if you join there. At the time, for Santi, we were talking about clubs who played in the Champions League, whatever league that was, La Liga, Premier League, etc. For him to go to a club like Forest, where you're not sure what happens to the manager the next week, and they're likely to fight against relegation again this season. I mean, they can have a much better season, but for the last 2 years, we've seen them really being near the bottom. And that's not let alone the fee. This is not really what we thought would happen next for Santi. We thought the step up would be big to take, but we thought it would be a bigger club. So maybe last season, maybe what he did with Mexico as well in terms of international football hasn't convinced everybody, and I guess maybe also European football and what he did in Europe. But I'm with you. I'm surprised that now they've almost half the price, and I think Feyenoord will want to go for at least 30, probably 35. So there's another 10 million for Forest to add up to it. But yeah, I agree with you in terms of the money that we're talking about and also the clubs that we're talking about for Giménez. It's a bit disappointing, I think.
Well, like I said, he's got 53 goals in 89 matches now for Feyenoord. So a lot of the fans who were looking online on social media seem to think he's probably worth, Jules, £50 million and up. But we'll see who's willing to pay that. If it's not Forest, we're hearing, reports suggest that maybe clubs in Italy, maybe even Germany are interested in him. Do you know of any other interest?
Yeah, I think so. I think there'll be a lot of clubs who have scouted him. The problem is now, Alexis, is we are quite far down the transfer window. So there are clubs who've signed number 9s already, others who didn't need one, for example, or others who've had other targets. Let's take a Napoli, for example. I would have loved to see Santi Gimnez in Serie A. Okay, Napoli seems like a bit of a crazy club right now with Conte already kicking off and everything. But you see what I mean? This is the idea. Now they're going to probably go for Lukaku. There's the Osimhen case. So there are other number 9s on the market. And Nketiah is another one that maybe at some point Forest will think, you know what, we would rather get Nketiah, who is Premier League proven because he's English and played there with Arsenal, etc., instead of taking a bit of a punt on Santi Gimnez. We don't know how he would adapt to English football, to the life in England, etc., etc. So I don't think it'd be easy, really, and I wouldn't be surprised in a way if, in the end, Santi Gimnez stays at Feyenoord for another year.
All right, Jules, I don't want to put you on the spot, but who would you take, Nketiah or Santi Gimnez, if you're Forest? And two, how much of this is Eredivisie tax? Because we hear it all the time when we talk about managers in the Dutch league moving up to the Premier League, how there's not only an adjustment period, but often not, they don't do well. We were seeing it with Erik ten Hag and what's happening in United, and now we're asking the same questions. Arne Slot, is there an Eredivisie tax? Is my second question. The first one was, who would you take?
So who would you take? I mean, Herc, I think it really depends what kind of number 9 you want. And that's why I'm a bit surprised that they go for two completely different ones. But if you want I guess with Chris Wood and Awoniyi, who are two strong number 9. Okay, Giménez movement is much better than either of them. But do you see what I mean in the kind of number 9s that they are? Then Nketiah probably kind of complements the other Awoniyi and Wood better than Santi in a way. But I think Santi is 2 years younger. It'd probably be slightly cheaper. But then Nketiah is primarily proven. So it's really difficult, I guess. I love Santi Gimnez and everything that he's done in Eredivisie. Like you said, I love his movement off the ball. He's a really good finisher. I think the room for improvement for him is massive. We don't really know what kind of ceiling it is. So I think Santi has a really good case for him. And then it goes with your second question. Yes, of course, there's always question mark for players coming from Eredivisie. And Alexis, as a United fan, unfortunately for her, I've seen it down the years many, many times. Outside of Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Cheers, Jules.
Sorry. I don't want to bring Van de Beek and all your friends, Alexis, from the Eredivisie, but it's been painful for you.
Listen, I am all a part of Erik ten Hag's Dutch Ajax revolution, and just you wait and see. Just you wait and see. And Eric, we trust.
Did you hear the producer mentioning Anthony here? This guy with the low blows.
Oh, geez. Look, everybody's allowed a mistake. He's trying to put it right now. We've got like Xerxes and everyone else who started with a bang. So there you go. We all learn from our slight mistakes. Right? Thank you. I love how we were just talking about Santi Gimnez and it just turned into let's attack Alexis and the pain that Manchester United give her. Well.